Welcome back to Better Dig 2, the husband and wife horror podcast bringing our couch conversations to the masses. I'm your host, Maddie.
And I'm your host, Shrade.
Grab a seat on the couch and let's talk horror.
Maddie, my love, today's a very special day. We are all aboard the hype train. We've got speculation. We've got an announced house. I'm pretty excited, but I would love to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, we've got 2 confirmed houses and some of the speculation that we'll dig into here in a minute. What is your hype from like a 1 to 10?
A 10.
Really?
Yep. Looking back at all the years that we've gone to HHN, so the last 5 years, looking at the first 2 house announcements from every year, with the 2 houses that have been announced and confirmed so far this year, this is the most hyped I've ever been for a year.
With this early, right?
This early,
okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that's pretty good. I think we've also got a little bit of a bias because it's something that we get to go to. It's hard to be hyped for something that you've already experienced.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of right there with you. With the announcements, what I know lore-wise that I've really enjoyed is coming, and what they've got in the pipeline that we'll talk about a little bit later. I'm real excited. I'm going to give it like a 9. I don't want to put a perfect 10. I want to see what the next house is.
Hype so far as it stands. It's a 10 for me.
Okay. Well, if you're higher on it than I am, I think you should get to take it away. What is this mysterious house that was just announced?
So we got our wish. We got a wish. So this week it was announced, or I guess technically last week, it was announced that Sinners is coming to HHN.
Thank God.
We are getting a Sinners house. I am so freaking excited. When this was first on the spec maps, I was like, oh, that'd be a dream. But I was like, it's too good to be true. I just didn't see it actually happening.
Fair.
But oh my gosh. And maybe that was just me trying not to like be disappointed, just tempering my expectations. But oh my gosh, I'm so freaking excited that we're getting a Sinners house.
I am too. I have some questions for it, but what they've talked about already, kind of in like the Fangoria article and stuff like that, with some of the creators of it, I'm really, really interested.
Yeah. I'm so excited to see what they're going to do with it. And I'm really excited. Ramon is one of the lead on it for creators. And he did El Artista and Blood Moon, I believe. So we know his work.
Yeah.
So
11 out of 10.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do with this IP. Because we know what he can do with the originals. So I hope that they give him the freedom. I hope they don't box him in too much. But I'm so excited for what they can do. Like you said, I know you have questions about how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
How they're going to make it work.
Logistically.
And that's totally understandable given the main, scene, stage of the movie is just a big empty barn.
Yeah. And I mean, there are some really interesting scenes too. And I think, Ramon's got the lock on utilizing verticality in a space that we've seen previously. The maypole scene in Blood Moon is probably one that my mind goes back to the most because it was such an open area that he felt kind of condensed. So when they are outside the juke joint in the Rocky Road to Dublin is going, like if they had scare actors in kind of like that larger circular area to kind of get you from that transition of juke joint to the major ending of the film. So I'm really excited for that, and I hope it's done. And I know that you're pretty excited for I Lied to You.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see, like I said, how they translate some of the scenes from this movie to a house. They definitely have options, but you're the one that told me that they have confirmed that I Lied to You will be in the house.
Yes.
So I hope they do that scene justice, because that was either a make or break on that movie for me, because when it started up and it started, like, there was the tempo change in that song and it switched to like
a little more hip hop,
rap, R&B, like I was like, oh, I braced myself for like cringe and like, oh no, this movie is about to take a turn for the worst, you know. But it was done so well, and so I hope they do it justice. I really think they can do it well, just with different scare actors. This house is definitely going to have the spots where it's not so much scares. It's more of the theatrical side of it.
Yeah.
But then it will have great points for scares, which sometimes I think that almost makes a house have better scares because it kind of lulls you. You go to a room where it's like you're just watching more of a scene happen, and then you turn a corner and there's a jump scare or something. And you get that sense of security for a second, or you're not on high alert throughout the whole house. So it almost lends to better scares. So
yeah, I think this would be one of the first IPs, at least in recent memory, that the first half of the movie isn't really a horror movie, right?
It's setting it up. It's more of a drama.
So I think it's really interesting that we get this. And I think what we saw with its nominations and awards, that this is a story that so many people can get behind and can really empathize with these characters. And it shows like the all-black cast it was just incredibly done, and it was super tasteful, and the way that they had character interactions and dialogue, I think that's the reason that I love that movie. But we're not doing a Sinners movie review. I got to get back on track.
Well, it's like I'm excited to see the costuming, the makeup, the special effect makeup, what they're gonna they have so much they can take from that movie and go in. So yeah, we talked about I Lied to You, Rocky Road to Dublin. This is the house that you're gonna be just like jamming in the queue. Like,
I hope
they'll have the music playing. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I can't wait.
Because it's going into T3, right? That's its location.
Let me see.
Yes.
Yes, T3 is where we have it. Or where they have it on the map right now. So
if memory serves, T3 usually doesn't have, because that's one of the new tents, right? Or is T3 one of the old tents?
I think it's one of the new tents.
I think it is as well. So
it has the covered cues now. So as we get up to it, there's music playing.
Yeah, there was music and like advertisements.
Fallout was last year. Yeah, because they had the trailers playing up under the tent too. So.
Yeah, I just hope that they don't put another IP back there, which I don't think they would. I think you kind of have to limit an IP. Kind of into a tent, leave it, and then give the atmosphere in the queue to that IP.
Well, because in past years, or since those tents have been up, like last year it was Fallout, and it was an original over there. I can't remember. Gulkin. Year before that, it was Goblins and Eternal Bloodlines, which is an IP.
Yeah.
So they usually split it because, last year they made the soundstage area that was like IP heavy, which worked. We've talked about the flow.
Yeah, it gets all the people.
But those tents, that tent area, the queues aren't as long. So I think it's a good breakup to do like one IP, one original back there. But I saw somebody say on Facebook or Twitter that they were surprised that Sinners wasn't going to be in a soundstage. But those new tents, they're tall.
They're pretty sick too.
And they're big. And so going in them, you really don't feel it is much more space than the old tents. And so I think that one of the new tents is a perfectly fine location for the Sinners house.
Yeah, so. I can understand where they're coming from, just because you do get more verticality in a soundstage, and you have. But really,
bigger... I get that the juke joint is 2 stories, but we really only had one scene in that movie where they're up on that second story. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be 2 stories. You don't have to play with that verticality really that much through that. And they can, they can work with that illusion of height easily with just some staircases and, since it's all wood, it's a barn, boards running up and down gives that feel. They can make it feel taller than it actually having to be, but really it doesn't need to be. No. Like there's not anything or any like it doesn't have to have big set pieces because it's just a barn. Yeah. It's like I don't need a hayloft,
I agree. I think with
I guess it wasn't a barn, it was a mill, wasn't it? At the juke joint that they bought, it was like a mill. Yeah. Was it a steel mill or a wheat mill or something? I think it was a
wheat mill, but
yeah. Anyways, it doesn't need it. And for the spots when they need to make it feel bigger, they can do that with just perspective.
Yeah. Force perspective in 3-dimensional space. You are unlimited. I trust that the creative team is going to just knock this out of the water.
Yeah.
One thing that we do need to touch on, because, there's going to be a lot of just human-based makeup. I know this is one of your more favored depictions of vampires with like the fingers and the nails and teeth and the way that the eyes are different.
Yes, the glowing like reflective eyes. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with that to play with it. Either just making it where you could see a bunch of eyes, especially when they're all closing in on the juke joint.
Yeah.
If they can do something where you can just see a bunch of eyes out in the dark, some of them had that red reflective, or the white reflective.
Even like give us a window or like a door where you've got
and you just see some eyes in a silhouette or something.
Yeah, where you've got cornbread in front of it, and then you can see just a shit ton of the yellow eyes. But also, speaking of cornbread, if I don't get cornbread busting it down,
to Rocky Road to Dublin, yes,
I will lose it. I'll riot.
I almost want like where it's like it feels like you're walking through the dance circle.
Yeah,
and they can have like them make it feel like they're going in a circle, but just on either side, and they can kind of rotate through like a wall sort of, like to make it almost feel like you're walking through or you're part of the circle, I mean, I'm so excited on what they're going to do with some of those just iconic scenes.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, I'm really excited for the character design, especially Remick. When he gets into like his full vampire form, the long fingers, the claws, the teeth, and then like when he gets the guitar, smashing his head. I'm so excited for all those makeup and special effect things. And I understand that some things they may not be able to do, but I think it's going to be really hard to disappoint me with this house.
That's fair. Okay, so house-wise, you got anything else you want to discuss about it?
I mean, I could probably talk all day. Just excitement, but got you. We'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there. We can geek out after we record.
Yeah.
So with the announcement, we did get some merch.
Yep, we always get some merch with a house, and especially an IP. They released a shirt and a hat, and unfortunately, in the past couple of years, the first merch drops have not been great. This year, though, I say they've gone 2 for 2. The Jack Oddfellow, loved it. I mean, I bought the shirt immediately. The Sinners, another trend that's happened, which I don't really like, and it just makes me wait to get, if it's merch I want, is that on the IP stuff, it's not HHN branded. Yeah. So it's like, it doesn't feel exclusive to the event.
Yeah.
It's just like, I could have gone and bought that shirt at Hot Topic or something.
Yeah. But they did do a really cool trend with the hat where like they're finally stepping up the hat to be good. Because like if I get stuck with another shitty trucker hat that everything just flips off.
The foam shitty trucker hat that they're trying to sell you for $30. Yeah. And like, I don't think it was last year, but maybe the year before, it was like a patch, but it was like not even sewn on. It was like ironed on, and the ones that were on in display, like the 5 and dime, were already like peeling off, and they're expecting you to pay $30 for that. That's ridiculous. But yeah, this year, like I saw the picture and I waited to like form an opinion until I saw it like in a video or in an actual, like somebody took a picture in the store. But the hat, it is like a faux leather, and it's actually embroidered. It's not just like screen printed, and it's still at that same price point at $30. And it's still like the mesh back, like trucker hat. And someone said it was more that softer instead of the more like rigid mesh. Mm-hmm. But it's more that low profile, not like the full trucker style. So it feels more like a cap you'd see someone wearing on a farm, you know?
Yeah, like, which I mean fits.
Yeah, like, it fits the theming. Yeah, again, and it has no HHN branding on it.
I'm fine with the hat not having the HHN branding.
See, I'm not, because like I said, it feels like you could have bought it anywhere. It's not exclusive to HHN, and I don't know.
You're an elitist.
I'm a snob about it, I guess. Yeah. But it's just why buy it there when I could buy it somewhere else?
Yeah. And I'm not going to nitpick too much because, again, it's like our first IP. The merch quality looks really good.
It's a trend that's happened, and I don't know if it's just a supply thing. They don't have time to do it because a lot of the times the stuff later, it might even be the same shirt that's a next drop later will have like the year logo, on the collar up top on back. And so I don't know if it's just they're just trying to get that stuff out quickly for the drop. I will say about the shirt though, I really like it. I like the design on it. It actually looks, it's like an artist like designed it. It's an original work for the shirt.
They didn't just stick the movie poster.
Yeah,
on the front.
It's not just the movie poster, and it's not, and like somebody said, they didn't put the actual like faces.
Well, that's like a licensing, like a likeness.
Exactly.
So it's
but I like it, and then we got a better look, and down at the bottom, it's all the vampires like waiting outside the juke joint, and it's just the detail on it. I like the art style.
They didn't put it on a bright orange shirt.
It's not on a bright orange shirt. It's actually a gray shirt. It's not even a black shirt.
Yeah. So we're breaking the mold a little bit.
Yeah. It's not just like, a few years ago, it's just like The Weeknd's face. So it's not just like Michael B. Jordan's face on the front of the shirt. So I like that it's a good art for it. So, overall, I think they're at least the merch has stepped up, so maybe enough people complained, put reviews in or, that, hey, the quality y'all are trying to chill out to us at these price points is ridiculous. So, makes me happy because, we just had the gripes about merch at Horror Unleashed.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see what, more to come.
Yeah. I wonder if they got like a different
overall
merchandise, like coordinator or liaison. Like, whoever is doing it, keep them on and don't regress. Just keep good quality stuff coming.
They got rid of the merch version of Bitter's Boy, I guess.
Very true. And then the acrylic stand.
Oh yeah, they put out a new. Yeah, I like that they're doing that. We didn't, like last year we thought about getting the acrylic frame, the stained glass thing. We ended up not, just because I don't know. Like it was a cool concept, but in the end, I was just like, meh. And it was like Freddy Fazbear was like the biggest thing in the middle, and I'm just not. That's not my.
Yeah, it's not your
IP.
It's not your fandom.
So
I get it.
But I love the carousel. I love how it's so on theme, which so was the stained glass last year. That was, an overall theme for the event. And so this year with it being the carnival, and so they've got this carousel. But then I do like how this year with the acrylic thing, so like last year, if those pieces, I might have gotten just the Jason one. If it had been somehow like a standalone instead of just a piece that only fit into that frame. So this year, the acrylic carousel, each piece, they can also stand alone.
Yeah.
So like if you just wanted to get Jack, just wanted to get Oddfellow, which I could see us doing for sure, getting those, and they come on their own little stands, and you don't have to get the carousel. You don't have to get all the other pieces for it to still be, something you might want to grab. So I like that. So yeah, whoever they've got, either same team have just stepped up their game, or maybe they've gotten some new people in there. I'm liking the direction that merch and stuff is going for HHN.
Yeah, and I think last year we saw a resurgence of really good art, unique art styles, and I think that we're going to continue to play on that with merch going forward. So if you're like us and believe in the power of capitalism, go buy good merch. And if you're at the park and go sneak Sinners in, get it before it sells out.
Yeah. Well, and then just making your voice heard, because honestly, I really think Universal listens, because, you know, a lot of the big influencers, especially with HHN and Universal, they'll put out like a call to action and say, hey, send an email to, you know, Universal Guest Services, or tweet them, or do whatever. And a lot of the times we do see change happen, you know, when we voice our concerns and opinions, and we have a point to make later about, I'm pretty sure, you know, the fans as a whole, hopefully made something happen for HHN this year. So we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yes, ma'am. That's all I have on merch. Do you want to go ahead and hop into specs?
Yep. So that's all for Sinners now. Hopefully, I was looking at it and how many weeks we have left until the official start of the event, which, you know, is August, I think 28th, but then the night before is the premiere night.
Yeah.
But usually we always get last announcement, like the final everything, like everything is announced by that last week in July. And I mean, here we are almost June. So we're into like 8-9 weeks left. So we're down to 8 houses left. And then we've got all the scare zones. I mean, we're getting to the point where we could be getting, unless they do one of those where like 1 week we have a bunch of announcements in 1 week, which they could do.
I like that personally.
It's fun. It's like we just get so much in 1 week, but I kind of like when they spread it out, because it's like it builds a little hype every week, and then you got something to look forward to every week. It's like a weekly episode of a TV show.
I get daily gratification when they drop the 5, you know, originals all in the same week. That's where my mind goes, but also that includes Food and Bev starts rolling out around that time.
In July, or those first couple weeks of August.
Yeah. Please bring back Lacto Cooler, I beg you.
Oh yeah, please, dear God.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna jump into spec, because also this week we got a new spec map.
Yeah.
So, like we've said previously, we follow the Horror Night Nightmares spec maps mainly because I think they're more fun, because they just do the icons. And sometimes, or usually, they feel more accurate. Hallowed Out Horror, they put names, you know, so it's not really any like guessing, you know. And sometimes some of their spec is just so far out there, like,
dude, you strike out every time you don't swing.
It makes no sense. So
you listen.
We tend to follow, you know, the Horror Night Nightmare spec maps more, but I do like to cross-reference with Hallowed Out, or Hallowed Out Horrors, because sometimes then I can kind of make some connections and maybe puzzle some things out. So we do look at both, and we have both of those on spec this week. So
also, lovely listener, if you are a super sleuth on any of these and can figure them out, don't just type, oh, what is it? Oh, never mind, I figured it out. Tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what, like, monkey strong together.
I'm deep in the trenches of like a Twitter comment section trying to find someone asking the same question I'm looking for. And I find them ask it, and they're like, oh, what's this icon? And I'm like, yes, please, thank you. And I click because I see a reply to it. And then it just says, oh, never mind, figured it out. And then nothing else.
Yeah, like I get, like, being like an edgy Reddit lord. Like, I would rather go to Reddit and ask them like how to fix things, because it would be 90 people telling me, oh, you should already know that. You know, get out of here.
I'm like, share with the class.
Yeah. So. Okay. We put it off too long.
Yep. Okay. So we'll just do like what we normally do. Start from first house as you walk in the gates and work clockwise. So first house, soundstage 22, already confirmed Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control.
Still hyped for it?
Yep. Next one, 23A. This one is flip-flopped. It's been the Upside Down Clock. It's been the Book on Fire. It's still Book on Fire. So
Evil Dead Burn?
We're still thinking Evil Dead Burn. And now that we've gotten a couple of trailers, I am so excited for the Evil Dead Burn movie.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be so good. And it's, you know, it's got just from the newest trailer, I thought originally it was going to be more in just this house, kind of how Evil Dead Rise was mainly in that apartment. And then it kind of went out into the rest of the building a little bit, but mostly it was contained to the apartment. Whereas Evil Dead Burn looks like it's in the house, but there's multiple settings.
Yeah.
So they're going to have options. It's going to be if it's going to be in a soundstage.
It looks real yucky, and I'm so in for it.
It does. So I'm so excited for the movie. I love that we're going to be able to watch it first and then like immediately experience the house.
Yeah, unlike Exorcist Believer, which is, you know, again, great house.
Well, and that one, you know, it wasn't supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
Production issues, whatever. But I think this one, because it's, you know, I mean, it's coming out July 10th. Like it's set. So, and then that'll give people, you know, at minimum month and a half to watch it before HHN starts. I'm really excited for that one. I hope that one sticks. It's been on every spec map. It's on both. I think this time though, I think it's not on the Hollywood spec map.
I'm fine with that.
So that sucks for them.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's what they get though, because they got Evil Dead Rise and we didn't.
Fair.
In Orlando.
Yeah, this
is
just payback.
That's what they get.
And as long as Lee Cronin's The Mummy doesn't get a nod or anything, since it's in universe, I'm happy. Please don't put that dog shit movie.
No, unless it's like calling it out for being shitty.
Yeah, unless it's gonna just like teabag that movie, that'd be great.
It's like Her Dead in the Corner or something.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we got 23B. It has been a bus. It was the pincushion. The Upside Down Clock.
Well, bus is the code word.
Yeah, bus is the code word. So it's been, the code word is bus. Then it was, you know, first one was pincushion, Upside Down Clock, the I Love You, a Rock On Hand. And it is currently the Upside Down Clock.
Yeah, so no matter where it's moved around to, it really looks like we're not getting away from Stranger Things, which at this point, it's just... You've just got to accept our fate.
Yeah.
And deal with it. And unless they decide to keep riding the coattails and go on with this animated series that they've now dove into. Yeah. So honestly, though, I am really surprised that if we are getting Stranger Things, I really expected it to be the first IP announcement, because I went back and looked, and like every year that Stranger Things has been at the event, it was one of like the first two house announcements. So
I think that that's a pretty good indicator of just where we're at.
People not being excited for it, because it obviously they want those first two to be really hype so that people buy tickets.
I would say that if the IPs that we are speculating on are correct, I think the next one is Evil Dead Burn. Like if we're going in an order of hype,
I could see them announcing Evil Dead Burn like the week the movie comes out or the week after. I really feel like if we're going to get an Evil Dead Burn house, they're going to announce it. It's going to coincide with the movie release.
I just think that puts the timetable a little wonky, just because they usually try to get the IPs out earlier. No?
No. They kind of sandwich it, because they'll try to keep. Sometimes it varies year to year.
Okay.
So sometimes, you know, they'll announce a couple IPs up here. They'll do the big block of, you know, original announcements, and then they'll, you know, wrap it up with an IP or two. So
yeah, and
because like last year, I think Five Nights is kind of a weird one last year, because it's almost like it got leaked.
Yeah, he did it at like a full ass
and
convention.
So they did the official announcement for Five Nights like at the butt end of spec season, but it had already gotten like leaked, and they had to put it out so that they were the ones to announce it, but it was like a shitty announcement.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you actually go back and look at the timelines and all the house announcements, they usually kind of sandwich it, or they'll kind of disperse them.
I don't like that. And the only reason I don't like that is because, like, yes, we're very fortunate. We already know we're going to go. But if you've got an IP that you're going to announce in July, and you're going to put it in later July, that a lot of people would be hyped for.
Yeah.
And you've got people like overseas or traveling from a long way, or are like, well, I had this come up, and that's what's happening.
Because, I mean, most people are going for the IPs and to be able to plan, and I understand that. But sometimes I think it has to do with if it gets pulled late. They have to make sure everything is secured, because we've had houses, we've had IPs fall through.
Yeah, Evil Dead Rise fell through.
So, I mean, sometimes I think it has to do with licensing and just they can't announce before it's like set in stone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it could also, I mean, highly likely is that it is some of the rules or something, because look, like Evil Dead Burn, it might be part of the contract that says you can't announce this until after the movie comes out, or you can't,
Yeah, that's
they have so
jumbo.
many. They have to play by those rules to keep the IP. So I feel like sometimes it's not like HHN Universal's decision on when some of these get announced.
Yeah.
So because you would think that obviously they want to sell tickets to as many people as possible. So they want to put out the things that are going to draw the most people as early as possible. That would be the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
But
I think the other thing too is like we're thinking about it as if we were trying to put on a haunted house and get our names out there. Mm-hmm. This is the #1 premier haunt.
But drawing new audiences and people that have to plan. Like obviously we know we're going to go. Yeah. Like we're going. We bought tickets before houses were announced, So, but what they're trying to grow the audience, and with these different and varied IPs. And so those people that might just go for certain IPs, they would need longer to plan a trip. They couldn't do it just, at the ass end of the season. So it would make the most sense if they announced the IPs early, but I think logistically, sometimes they just can't, and it's like out of their hands. It's not their choice.
Yeah, so. I can still complain about it. But yeah. All right. Next up is 24B. The code name was Train. The earliest one was the Eggnog. Then we got a paw print, makeup, Biohazard, bee.
There was a little bee.
Yeah, a little bee on it.
Yeah.
And then we had the people in cages.
That's what the current one is that people in cages or whatever, and with the paw print on the cage. Mm-hmm. That one was down in one of the other, it was in a tent house.
Yeah.
And now it's up here. It's the same icon. So it's a cage. It's got 2 people inside the cage, and like one is on like being roasted over a fire.
Yeah, they're on a spit.
And then it's got a paw print like on a plaque, over the cage. So same idea when it was just on another part of the map is that Cary Zoo is what at one point it was like something cannibals, which makes sense, they're roasting somebody over a fire.
Yeah.
Hallowed Out Horror actually has like a full title.
Oh, okay.
And it's the Cary Zoo Feeding Time.
That rules. I like that.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I really usually enjoy anything to do with Cary, Ohio.
Well, it's just fun. It's like fun campy horror, and
it's like they have past, stuff to build on, past lore, past story. So they can just keep making it better instead of like having to do a whole new story concept where you're trying to figure out what's going on while you're going through this brand new house. They can use past knowledge from other houses and scare zones to just build further.
So if we get this, do you think it will be like some messed up humans are feeding like the animals in the zoo, or do you think that the zoo animals escape and like you are going through the zoo?
I don't know. I could see it like they're feeding people to the animals.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the last time we went to Cary, which was our first year, right, or second year.
I think we've been to Cary twice.
Have we?
Because Bugs Eaten Alive was in Cary, Ohio, wasn't it? And then we had Scary Drive-In.
Yeah, what was it? The Midwest Haunting of the Midwest or Horrors of the.
Yeah, anyway. That was our first year.
Yeah, so that was our first year.
We've experienced Cary in multiple years.
Yeah, well, and so for those of you who know the movie The Crazies, that's kind of the same feel that it was the first year that we went in that Cary. So if you've got just some more crazy people doing insane things and feeding you to the animals, like that fits. But also, I can't think of anything good happening in Cary, Ohio.
No.
Not one thing good has happened.
No. So I'm down for that. I think anything Cary, it's going to be a good house. Like, because like I said, they have that past, lore and everything to build on. Yeah. So I'm cool with that.
Okay.
All right. Next one, we got 24A. The code word on it was chariot.
Okay.
At one point, it was the pincushion. Then it was the upside down clock. And now officially, it is a rock on hand.
Okay.
Thumb is tucked. It is a rock on hand. It is not I love you. It's rock on.
Okay.
So we're still thinking Ozzy Osbourne. And over Mother's Day, Jack Osbourne might have kind of accidentally or in a way sort of confirmed it.
Yeah.
Him and his wife, I think, were doing a live kind of Q&A, and someone asked, is there going to be an Ozzy Osbourne house at Halloween Horror Nights Orlando this year? And his reaction wasn't so bad, like wasn't really telling, because if it had just been him, his reaction could have been taken as, oh, I can't say anything, or, oh, well, it was, but then we ran into problems and it's not happening. Or, it could have been interpreted multiple ways, but his wife, and I mean, still her reaction could be interpreted too multiple ways, but she kind of like laughed and was like, ha ha, like she didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
So had they just not reacted, I don't know.
No, I know exactly what they did. They did the thing you do when you have a big family at Thanksgiving and your least favorite family member tries to come up and talk to you and ask you a question. And you're like, oh, Jesus. That's what they did. The whole like Tai Chi deflect, it just didn't work.
Well, also, if he was going through just reading questions, usually you skim that stuff so you don't read something out loud that's inappropriate.
No, that's a you thing. If I have to read something out loud, it comes out as I'm reading. I'm just as surprised as the words come out of my mouth.
People that are somewhat media trained are not just going to read random shit out loud when they're doing a live Q&A. So they would probably skim it first. He could have just not read that question. So
look, I think you might be giving him too much credit.
Anyways, Jack Osbourne might have accidentally confirmed Ozzy house.
Yeah, it works timeline wise. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
but Ozzy Fest is on. They're going to continue to do that, and as like an in memoriam, like legacy. This could be a great tribute house. We saw it last year with Bray Wyatt, and it's probably going to be really tasteful. It'll have some of his greatest hits, his like music videos, and all the Prince of Darkness stuff. Very very cool. So
if you're gonna pick an artist to do an HHN house on.
Yeah.
Ozzy is not one that I'd ever be like, why would they do an HHN house for Ozzy?
That's right. So if you're watching this and you think that I am a hater of musical houses, it's just The Weeknd didn't belong at HHN. That's it. This belongs at HHN, and I'll fight you on it.
Yeah, Ozzy. I mean, are we gonna see someone biting head off a bat? Like that's Halloween.
That's fucking metal as shit, dude.
So if we get 2 houses this year with freaking sick music,
it's a win-win.
Yeah. So, I don't have any issues at all with an Aussie house.
Okay.
Now, do I wish, and I am not alone in this, do I wish it was a ghost house? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, but we've been to Ghost, so like we're super biased.
Yeah. So, and honestly, I don't know that they could do a house as well as the show we went to. So,
yeah,
but so Ozzy Osbourne, I'm completely fine with that, and it looks, and it's on Horror Night Nightmares and Hallowed Out Horrors spec maps.
Yeah. Now, if this was our number 2 drop, I'd be happy with it too.
And I kind of was thinking it might be. I was hearing that was going to be the possibility for that second house announcement. I really didn't. I mean, I was so surprised that they announced Sinners and that early.
I think that if you're gonna 1-2 punch somebody, that's probably the move, is throw like your big,
They appealed to the fan base first, like the hardcore, like HHN fan base first.
Yep.
Love that. Love that they appealed to the people who come back every year.
Yeah, I think they make the event, they get the hype out there. Any form of like marketing and media you can do, you also have to appease your angry screaming children on social media. So that's the other thing.
Yeah. But then second house, go for maybe an audience that doesn't normally come to HHN.
But directly off the hype of some great awards and many, many accolades and well received. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So I was super excited for that. But I could talk about Sinners all day.
Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to the next one at Fast and Furious.
Yep, you can do that one.
Okay. I've got the code word for it was helicopter. It has been a woof.
A woof.
A woof. It's been guts. It's been guts. It's been guts again.
Yep.
So we're thinking HR Blood and Guts, which ties into like Cary, Ohio.
Yep.
You get some of that backstory, which I do want to do a deep dive on HR Blood and Guts. I think it's really cool. And then we did have the same on Hollowed Out Horror, and it was called HR Blood and Guts Presents Midnight Mayhem, and it was previously Presents 35 Years of Horror.
Yeah, it changed this this newest version of their spec map. Their other ones had said HR Blood and Guts Presents 35 Years of Horror, which made sense. But it's changed this map to say HR Blood and Guts Presents Midnight Mayhem. So feels like we're definitely probably going to get something HR Blood and Guts.
Give me a fun schlocky house.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's tied to Cary, Ohio. Love that.
Yeah. It's the Goblin's Feast of this year. Like it's the fun, just like real campy house.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, and if they do, it's big anniversary year. If they do callbacks to old houses, he's like a storyteller, so we might get some history. Who knows? But again, that's another one I'm totally cool with.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's integral for you to have a house like this that you can take, like, especially if it's more slapstick comedy and just more fun atmospheric. You've got tight corridors in Fast and Furious, the least favorite, worst ride at Universal Studios Orlando. Soon to be no more. Yep. Thank God. And
we'll have to crown a new worst ride at Universal.
I've already got some ideas.
I think it's Simpsons.
Damn it. All right. Well, okay. Spoiler alert. Mine was also Simpsons. But I think that it could be really fun, and it's something that you can get your like younger members of your party to get into, especially with the HR Blood and Guts character and his mythos. I think it's great.
I think it's a good location, especially if it's almost like an anthology house, possibly.
Yeah.
Because that house, it has lots of turns where it doesn't feel so like continuous. There's some continuity with it. So they could almost do it like that, which they've already split it once. We've seen a double feature there before. So if it's, to me, this feels like an anthology. Like he's like a presenter So
yeah, I think he's going to kidnap some people off the street, force them to be, co-act with him through these
that'd
scenes.
be cool. That'd be funny.
Yeah, so I think that'd be really fun. But that's just my own little headcanon.
I like that.
All right, what's next?
Next one's T4. So the code word was hearse. So this was originally where we were seeing the lighter and the 2 cigarettes. So the Sinners icon was at this T4. So that would be next to where Sinners is currently like confirmed at. So that would be one of those new tents. So looks like they've just moved it over. So that was where it was rumored for Sinners to be, and that's what we had seen there. That has now changed to the pincushion icon logo.
Yeah.
So looks like Hellraiser's still a possibility.
Yeah, and hearse fits, so makes sense. I know that you haven't watched.
No, that's one. If it gets confirmed, then we'll do a movie review on it.
Yeah. So basically, Pinhead and his gang of weirdo pale monstrosities. You're inside of cube, pulls you in, blah blah blah. Another space. That's hell. It's not. It's hell again.
And see, like that sounds so Oddfellow. So I mean, that makes sense if Hellraiser comes to HHN.
Yeah.
There's some similarities.
I think it's the house that if you are most into BDSM, that's probably the one that you'll go into. There's great. A lot of leather daddies. In that one. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you're going to, I think there's going to be a lot of inappropriate, drunk women in Too Short.
Great.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see. So it'll be fun. It's good people watching.
So, okay. Thanks. Now I'm super excited. Okay, next one's T3. So again, one of the other new tent houses. That is where Sinners is currently showing to be where it's going to be.
Yeah. Play the music.
That one had flipped. So that one was originally the pincushion. I mean, it kind of changed. It was like the combination lock, then the dancing skeletons, and the last one was the pincushion. And so now those have flipped. So, and that one makes sense because the tractor was the code word on it. So that makes sense.
Okay.
Let's see.
Skip to T2.
Yep. T2.
Right. Code name was Wagon. It was the skeletal like rock on hand. Then we got Alien Cowboy, an alien and cowboy hat, which fucking rules. They also moved the people to zoo to cannibals next, and currently it is the lipstick tube and DNA strand. So give me Vanity Ball.
Yes.
Or tie like Vanity Ball and BuzzCon together.
Yeah.
And
I think that's an easy tie they could make. I mean,
there's pharmaceutical company or like these doctors who run this like kind of sketchy. Like we're gonna mod
BuzzCon,
shop.
Even if it's just like an Easter egg, like BuzzCon is supplying the chemicals. I mean,
or even if they did like a substance or what's the movie with Ashton Kutcher?
The Beauty, the show.
Yeah, that I still need to watch.
Yeah. So this was the one. It's changed a few times, but it's been similar. It's been makeup with like a radioactive. There's been a bee. Now it's just a lipstick tube with like a DNA strand kind of behind it, and so. Best guess is Vanity Ball, which was a scare zone in the Hollywood area in 19. So that was the HHN before we went. And so we watched a video on it the other day, and it looked so good.
Yeah, the set piece is like the main set piece, which was a runway that had a curtain and then another runway off the back. So you had so many people who could just sit there and watch them walk back and forth.
Well, and it's good body horror, good prosthetics.
Oh, yeah.
And even though it was like, supposed to be gory, and it looked like fun.
Yeah, and it was really pretty. Like the outfits were really well done, and then they had like a black lighting that would flash, and some of those outfits would really just pop. So give me some more of that.
Yeah. So the description of the Vanity Ball scare zone in 19 was your flesh is a canvas in Hollywood, and these blade-wielding artists can't wait to take a scalpel to you.
That's metal. So, I love that.
So I was thinking that, you know, using Vanity Ball, it looked like it was, I mean, a great scare zone, and like everyone loved it. Mm-hmm. Using that as a house is an easy way for them to like play off of the substance and the beauty, that concept, without having to pay for the IP, because they've already got something they've had similar. And I mean, it's such a common topic, especially nowadays, where everything is being like the fillers and the plastic surgery and the, you know.
Is this a meta commentary on today's like beauty standards?
Yeah.
But
I mean, yes and no, because that concept has been in media. You know, you can go all the way back to the early 90s with Death Becomes Her. And then, you know, the Halle Berry Catwoman, where
that if it turns into the Halle Berry Catwoman, I don't think I'll like that as much.
Well, I'm just saying the concept of like the beauty industry and it like corrupting.
Yeah.
And so like the Halle Berry Catwoman, where it's like they've put these makeup products or skincare products out, and then there's like toxic in them that they have to keep using them or they will die.
Yeah, then you get addicted to Fancy Feast.
Yeah. I mean, that's another story. But I also like this one. It makes me think of the Carver from Red Rising.
Oh, Mickey. Yeah, that's really cool.
Just the, like, I mean, because literally that's what he is.
Yeah.
Like,
he's carving up pieces of a red guy and making him into a gold guy.
Yeah, to get to those beauty standards.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
I thought about that. Oh, and then another movie from last year, again, same concept, Slanted, with McKenna Grace.
Yeah.
Where they literally like change her race to make her feel better, fit in more.
Yeah.
So it's a concept that is smeared all over the media. It's literally our real life. And so they have an original that they can use and don't have to pay for an IP. So why not?
That's fair. I mean, I'm excited for it. I want to see what they can do. I think this will be the more artsy house this year. I think they can really play with those concepts. And I think I'm really excited to see what they can come up with in that space.
Oh, yeah. This one is one that has only been on Horror Night Nightmare spec maps.
Okay.
So Vanity Ball or anything to do with like the makeup radioactivity has not been on Hallowed Out Horror at all. So this year the two have been pretty similar. Like at least concept wise, you know, there might be like a Hallowed Out Horror might have a name or something that's maybe a little off, but they've been pretty similar. This is one though that, I mean, it has not shown up in any form on the Hallowed Out Horror. The Hallowed Out Horror instead has had Cyborgs.
I like Cyborgs.
Which was in Slaughter Cinema 2.
A very overrated house.
Shut up. Which wasn't my favorite part of that house at all, even in like my top 3, 4.
Listen, as a sci-fi enjoyer, I like it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was cool. It's like you're in a trench and there's zomboids, cyborgs.
Yeah. So that's what they had on theirs. And then I would prefer that over what they now have, which is Seek and Destroy. You remember that?
That's the really terrible New York scare zone.
Yeah, from our very first year. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah. So I would 100% take Cyborgs. I want Vanity Ball. But if we had to go out on the Howled Out Horror, I would take Cyborgs any day over Seek and Destroy, unless they just completely, do a 180 with it. But that scare zone sucked so bad.
Yeah.
It was just like futuristic, kind of military. It looked like the freaking peacekeepers from Hunger Games, because they were just in solid white. They look like fencing masks, like from what I remember.
I think they look more like what would be the stormtrooper from Spaceballs with like the little domed helmet and the little half mask. That's what my
And then like carrying like batons and like blaster guns or something.
Yeah.
But it was such a bad scare zone because they were just like marching around. They weren't doing anything. Which is so sad because the New York Scare Zone is usually my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, there were some cool set pieces for like the dystopian future where like you must obey, but that's really all the positive. Like everything else just felt like a generic brand, post-apocalyptic, District 1.
Well, and what it felt kind of like. It was it was creepy because we had just come off of COVID.
Yeah.
And like everybody was talking about like martial law and like
authoritarianism
and then they do that scare zone and it was just like
getting a little risque. But also the scare zone was bad. So
it was just a bad scare zone. Like it just felt dead. I mean, it sucked. So
please don't do it.
Please, dear God, no.
Or if you do, at least give me a reason why there is a thing and give me more variety in a costume. So, don't make it Tooth Fairy. Don't just throw the same thing at me for 20 minutes.
Yeah. So, so either one of those, Zyborg, Seek and Destroy, neither of those are anywhere hinted on Horror Night Nightmare spec maps. And then Vanity Ball is nowhere on Howled Out Horror. So that's where that's like they're the one kind of divide this year. The rest of it, they agree pretty much. So.
Okay. Can I take this last one?
Yep.
Sick. So in T1, code name was Shuttle, which could be a spaceship or a rocket because it fucking fits.
Yeah.
I'm hyped as hell. So it was a question mark. Then it became makeup and like the radioactive symbol.
Like what we're now seeing as Vanity Ball.
The alien cowboy. And it has remained the alien cowboy. And I am hyped as hell. I think that Hollowed Out Horror has called it
Invasion of
Lightning Gulch. That's right. So
that's such a sick name. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just love that. Like it sounds so fun.
Dude, after the Hatchet and Chains house last year, if I get a cyborg house, I'll be happy. And then I get fucking cowboys and aliens, dude.
Yeah.
I'm in.
This also feels like a way for them, which they are, at least definitely in Hollywood, they have some kind of rights agreements to Nope because it's on the daytime tram tour.
I don't want Nope.
No, but I'm just saying it's similar, but they don't have to pay for the IP.
Yeah, if it is a modern day retelling of the West, I'll be very upset. If it's
like
not Yeehaw Cowboys, I'm gonna fucking riot.
Yeah, like Aliens versus Cowboys, which is what it feels like.
I want to watch some drunk like asshole in a bar just beating the dog fuck out of like a little green man. That'd be so funny.
I want it to be silly as shit, just like literally aliens invaded and it's like you picked the wrong town, motherfucker.
Yeah. But you got like ray guns and then like lever actions going off.
The aliens, cool. It's like the aliens tried to invade Austin, Texas because they were like, oh, these are our people, and they accidentally landed in Amarillo, and it's like, oh, you done fucked up.
Yeah, you fucked up.
So yeah.
Okay. But that's it for houses. Next up we'll do scare zones.
Yeah, because we got a little bit of change on the scare zones, not too much, but so on the entrance, so in between the two Minions rides. Where they had the busts last year and the gargoyles, where we actually had a scare zone last year.
Yes.
So that had been marked as just a tent, like carnival tent. So we're like, it's the entrance one. It's where the icons are going to be. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So where Hollywood had a tent with 35 years, so it kind of felt that was like a lot.
Yeah.
Now that has just merged into that entrance scare zone. It's just the tent, 35 years. Makes complete sense.
It does.
It's where the icons are going to be. We could also have some cameos from other icons. I've heard whispers of that Jack and Oddfellow might not be the only icons we see this year. And we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
At a couple spots here in a minute in two different spots.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. I'm just all the little things, even if it's just a little Easter egg here and there. I love anniversary years.
Yeah. Yeah, give me some stuff that calls back to like Jack's history. Give me some stuff that's real Oddfellow based.
But it's
more fleshed out.
I see it being. I mean, I know the overall theme is this like infernal carnival of nightmares, which is ICON icon. But I see that scare zone being the main infernal carnival of nightmares. So, okay.
Next up, we'll go to New York. It's got the clown.
It's still the same clown.
Just clown. So it could be killer clowns, could be Terrifier, it could be, Jack themed. So if they led in with like this portion at the front is Oddfellow stuff and these clowns are Jack's. Like I'd be fine with that too. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with kind of having that back and forth. Yeah. And there's like the duality, but we don't have two very strange characters doing sinister and surreal. No. We don't have to worry about that this year.
Yeah. The icon looks very much like Killer Clowns to me, but
please God,
like Hallowed Out Horror on their spec map, it specifically says Clowns of HHN, so it makes you think it's going to be more of like a mix. I mean, it looks like Hollywood's getting Killer Clowns. They don't hide stuff very well.
Yeah.
So people have already seen tent flaps flipped up where it literally looks like the Killer Clowns, like the spaceship that's the tent.
I would love that because we didn't get to experience it, and they'll pump like the cotton candy and popcorn smell. They'll do just all the fun characters, and the lore on those characters is surprisingly deep.
Yeah.
But if I see Shorty walking around with just a big old punching, like, he's gonna come back. If it's the little extendo, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like just the goofy guns.
Well, and I mean because that's a big scare zone, and they have so many roaming scare actors that just a mix all kind of clowns.
Oh yeah, and
oops, all clowns.
Yeah, and you can have like little bodegas like we saw last year.
That was fun.
Oh god, it was the Toxic 20s.
The BuzzCon, Toxic 20s.
So
like the newspaper stands.
Yeah, because they wrap them in like cotton candy cocoons. Like I'm in.
Yeah, I would love like a cotton candy stand, like the clowns.
Yeah.
Cotton candy.
I mean, that's a food and bev talk that we'll have to get to eventually.
Oh man, if there's a good cotton candy this year.
Stop.
Shit.
Stop. All right. You want to take San Francisco?
Yeah. So I have a love-hate relationship with the scare zone. I mean, a lot of hate. It's just a bad location. It bottlenecks. I've said this. Last year, I thought was the best use with the club horror. It flowed so much better. People weren't just stopping. They still were able to put, I think, a couple of, photo ops. It's fine. I thought it was the best use we've seen on all the other spec maps. We still have the turntable icon. So we're still thinking, and I'm happy with that because it worked. Yeah. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. But it looks like this year if you zoom in on the Horror Night Nightmares one next to the turntable, there's a Pumpkin Lord face. And it is specifically the Pumpkin Lord.
Yeah. He harassed people at the front of the park a couple of years ago. Now he'll get to harass you with music.
Yeah, because he would yell at you. It was so funny.
And fart, which was kind of wild. Like he had flatulence. Yeah. There's a lot of clips where
that's funny.
Yeah, there were some weird
and then
audio cues.
There is a Twitter account that's like the Pumpkin Lord, and then there's a Little Boo Twitter account. And
our Gordon Savior.
They've had some back and forth lately. I thought just being silly, it would kind of be stupid, but it would also be funny. So like when the Pumpkin Lord was there, it was his like giant pumpkin, and then like the body like comes out of the top, which I don't know if that's his throne or if that's part of him. I don't really know. Or if that's, But anyways, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of funny. That's like his big DJ stand, and the DJ is like elevated, and he's like, Pumpkin Lord is the DJ.
I think it would be even funnier if the Pumpkin Lord was behind the DJ and like telling the DJ what to play.
Yeah, and then what did you say? You're like, all the dancers are like little boos.
Yeah, if you put like a little boo head on the dancers.
With like the scared face. Yeah. It'd be so funny.
Oh, it'd be great.
It would be so silly and so stupid, but also I kind of want it.
I hope that they don't put like an actual little boo out there, because I think they will, like, people will flock to that character just because, like, as members of the cult ourselves, our Gordon Savior, you know, so
even if it's like a little boo up on the DJ stand.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, don't give me
the dancers on their little platforms wearing little boo heads would be so funny.
Yeah,
and a Pumpkin Lord DJ. Be so funny. But on Hallowed Out Horrors, it says for that scare zone, it just says like Realm of the Pumpkin Lord.
Yeah.
So but on ours, on Orlando's or Horror Night Nightmares, it's still the turntable, but it also has Pumpkin Lord on it. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. I don't know if it's going to end up making it clogged back up. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But that's fun. So that's another one. That's another instance of an icon that's not our main two. So, and I know there's some discourse and some disagreements about whether Pumpkin Lord was an official icon or not, but I mean, whatever. We're going to call him an icon.
That's fine. So. Do we want to go ahead and do the shows too? Like as we're
as we work them around, that's fine.
Are you good with me taking the first show?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So at the Fear Factor stage, we still have the same 4 boxes.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty confident it's Jack in the Box.
Jacked Up.
Yeah. Jacked Up. Sick name. I'm in. And then were you telling me earlier today that like the Fuel Girls, it's been basically all but confirmed?
Yeah, so I've been kind of following stuff on Twitter with the Nightmare Queen and stuff she gets tagged in. So some recent stuff I saw was they were like posting old stuff and they were like, "We love HHN. Wouldn't you love to see us back?" So they were like, "Let us know down below." So it was almost like they were trying to put it out there that they wanted to come back, but they weren't getting, offered a spot by HHN. Maybe it was still kind of up in the air and they were trying to get it secured. I don't know. But that makes it sound like, they wanted to come back. It wasn't like it was, so it sounds like it's more HHN not wanting to bring them back than them not wanting to come back. So,
yeah.
And then, it was either yesterday or really just earlier today that I saw someone else share one of their posts of them announcing some show that the Fuel Girls are going to be involved or traveling with that runs through HHN season, which I know that they have, it's not a tiny company. They have, more where I guess, some could go do this event and some could go do that. But the fact that they're announcing the stuff that they're doing for the fall season.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they were fishing for people to try to say, "Hey, tell them that you want us back,"
I hope it's a different flavor of show.
I really feel like they're not going to be back. I don't think in any capacity. We were thinking maybe it was going to be a joint thing. And I kind of had the feeling that was them just trying to show HHN like, see, we can make this work. But I feel like there's just been too many people that are like, we are done with Nightmare Fuel. And I know the biggest argument is that they're like, well, the line had been, there was a line out all the way around towards, like Harry Potter World, like an hour and a half before the next show started. I get it draws a crowd, but there's
fatigue.
They're trying it's going to get stale, especially when it's like a repeat of a show every like 2 years. Yeah. So,
and it's nothing against them because they're all so talented.
Oh, yeah.
And so like, I would love to see them kind of branch out and become more of like a touring thing that you could see or another attraction.
Just switch it up. Just not every single year. Cause it's been 5 years, and I love it. I love the acrobats. I love all of that. And we ended up not even watching it last year.
Yeah, I'm confident that had we watched it last year, we still would do the bed trick. And that's probably the thing that my mind just like, there's lots of beautiful ladies.
It's great seeing it the first time, but every year it gets old.
Yeah. So if you guys could tell me how the bed thing works, I'm so in. Like, how do you get like a big hunk of a...
we must have had different angles because I could see how they did it.
Dude,
at least
where's your whimsy
time.
Where's your fun?
Listen, you know me.
I do.
And any of our regular listeners know me. I will poke holes in anything. I will explain it away. I'll figure it out.
All right, dude. Just do a lagoon show.
But I'm excited for a Jacked Up, especially now that we've seen like the Stay or Slay from Horror Unleashed, that Jack show.
I think a good comedy show, Bill and Ted style, would be really funny.
Since we never got to experience that, and I think that's just more of what people have been asking for, a comedy style show to come back, like Beetlejuice's Graveyard Review, Bill and Ted's. Yeah. That's what a lot of the like older HHN fans miss about the event, is that comedy style. And if you're bringing Jack back for like a big year. I mean, he's been, he was back our first year, but that was, thrown together event, plexiglass, post-COVID. So it
didn't hit as hard.
No, it was like watered down sort of. So if they're really wanting to make a big impact, that it makes the most sense to me.
You want to know, I know you're going to love this. I did see something where there was some speculation being talked about. And they said the 4 boxes would be like packaging for a toy.
Okay.
And if you were to open up and look at all of the Chucky animatronics, you could have Late Night with Chucky 2, Electric Boogaloo.
No. Fuck no.
Listen.
Absolutely not.
I know it's a rage bait, but I know there's like a select group of people who...
honestly, I need to take my blood pressure right now. Like, that made me so mad.
That's fine. Again, like,
because we didn't go do that either at Hollywood.
No,
like fuck that.
Yeah, if you are an enjoyer of Chucky, go enjoy it, but just like go do it somewhere else. I don't want to be around it. That's yucky. But that's me. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Speaking of Chucky, the other day you posed the question to me: how many Chucky houses would I endure for the 2 confirmed houses right now, that like trying to gauge how hyped I am for Jack and Oddfellow and Sinners. And that, honestly, that was a great question because of how much I hate Chucky.
Yeah.
And I think I said I would suffer through 3 Chucky houses for Jack and Oddfellow and Sinners, and then the other 5 houses just being like middle of the road.
Yeah.
I would suffer through 3 Chucky houses.
That's a very bold statement. If I get 2 Chucky houses, I'm going to be pissed. And not Chucky houses specifically, but like to that caliber of absolute delusional hate that we have toward that.
3, even if it was 3 completely different IPs that I end up hating just as much as I hate Chucky. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that.
Okay. Next one. I don't have any new news on it. On the Lagoon show. I'm just happy it's coming back again. They are doing the summer, like Cinesational, I think.
Okay.
This summer with it.
That's a really cool show. If it hasn't changed since the last time we saw it, it's really, really cool.
Yeah. So the only thing that I've heard is that, it's rumored to be IP heavy. We were told by a friend that he had seen on Reddit that he heard that Five Nights was coming back again this year.
Okay.
And I told him I really did not see that happening as a house, just because Orlando just typically does not do back-to-backs. I think the last time we did back-to-back houses was Stranger Things, like maybe the first and second time they did Stranger Things. And other than that, I mean, in recent history, Orlando just usually doesn't do back-to-back houses. I could see it coming. We've heard that this year, like, there's going to be lots of IPs in different forms.
Yeah.
So if Five Nights is somehow involved in the event again this year, I could see it as a photo op. I could see it in the Lagoon show. They could put some scenes in it.
I think it's stupid if they don't do like this year's IP. Like if you're going to do just a bunch of dumb IP, like why make it like a smattering? Give me like some of the scenes in Sinners that are more heavy. Give me Smoke and Stack fighting while I have the Prince of Darkness serenading me on their dope ass sound system. But
I could just see it being just a compilation of a bunch of IPs and, maybe ones that they couldn't fit into the event in other ways.
Yeah, but I think you still have to pay for it. So there's no way they're going to do that.
But if they have like a overarching contract or something that's like, we can use it for a house this year, but we still have rights to use it in other ways because they had a photo op the year before or 2 years before, whenever it was. And then, then had it as a house. So they might have, so they don't have to pay as much, but they can still use it to like sprinkle in to draw those audiences.
If you are drawn to this event by the Lagoon Show, you're not here for that.
I know.
Okay. So don't do that to me. Yeah. Worst case scenario, if you're going to just try to spoon feed me a bunch of IPs, just give me generic Halloween. I vibe with that.
Yeah.
4 lacto coolers deep. Nice little, starting to get a little crisp in the air. Go watch
Which won't be the case this year since we're going mid-September.
That's okay.
But yeah. Okay, you can take the next one.
Sick.
Actually, you know what? I'll fall on this sword.
Thank God.
I'll take this one because I know you want to take the one after.
Yeah.
So, Central Park, one of the best scare zone areas, still has the fucking banana on Horror Night Nightmares.
Throw some respect on Peely.
And on Hallowed Out Horrors, it just straight up says Fort Nightmares. So
yeah, that's I listen.
How do we go from having such good, like, classic traditional Halloween last year to Fort Nightmares this year? That it's a tragedy, honestly. That's the most horrific part of it.
Listen, I was pretty down on it because, like, if I have to go watch somebody hit me with, like, the little Fortnite dances, I'll be kind of pissed. They do have a bunch of IP. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were kind of having this discussion about how if the intellectual property were into a house versus what they can do with IP in, like, a scare zone, which is basically just promotion, right? So maybe you would get all of the Fort Nightmares characters. Maybe you would get to see very popular IPs. As long as they don't somehow make it cartoonish or like a caricature of those characters, I think it's really fine. If we're going to do... that could be Freddy Fazbear. I don't know if he's in Fortnite. I haven't played Fortnite.
No idea.
Please don't put the battle bus anywhere, like, unless you make it a bar.
Oh my gosh. They have the bus that they use. They've used it for sweets because it was like the school bus taking the kids to the candy factory.
Yeah.
They used it in Vamp 69. They have a school bus that they use every year.
I'm just saying.
And now that they extend that scare zone, they do have room to put it. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident at this point.
I hate this. I hate it.
Unfortunately, you did in fact fall on the sword. If Fort Nightmares comes, I don't see us spending a whole lot of time perusing through it unless, it's really... We could be completely wrong.
Again,
I want us to be wrong.
If it eats up all the little shitty kids and the annoying ones, and they can do all their little Fortnite dances in that scare zone and stay away from the house lines, then sure.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I hope they have a bunch of security and a few Fortnite dance.
I hope they have foggers of just like spray deodorant and Febreze above that scare zone.
Listen, that would be unique.
Or just pump soap through the water misters just to
help out.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I really want to talk about.
Can
we move to the next one? I'm actually kind of excited for this.
Yeah.
So Hollywood, it first had 35 years.
So which is now moved to the entrance.
Yeah, moved now to the entrance. So we've got anniversary. But recently it's been a pocket watch.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of flame to the top of it.
Newest spec map. We have not seen this icon or this logo, whatever symbol on anywhere else on a spec map until this version.
Yeah. And so we dug in pretty deep. We looked at a bunch of discourse online. Again, this is where the previous comment of just like, if you have an idea, just say it. Don't be lame. But we go into the caretaker and that gets us into Shady Oak Cemetery. We are, again, we're only just 5 years. We're still, green when it comes to a lot of these really great original characters. So I did a little bit of a deep dive. Okay. Dr. Albert Kane, better known as the Caretaker. His signature of large shears, surgical tools, a suit and top hat, and of course, a pocket watch to really complete that whole dandy and dapper look. He is closely tied to the Shady Oak Cemetery, which I know you're going to be excited about.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a sucker for cemeteries.
Yes.
We first got to see... he was also the second original HHN icon ever.
Oh, okay.
We first saw him in HHN12 in 2002. His next appearance was at HHN13 the next year in 2003. He made an appearance in one of the directors, another very famous icons, films. Then we had a little bit of a break at HHN16 for their Sweet 16 in 2006. We had returned to perform this, I believe it was a Ritual de la Mort, to bring his daughter back to life. At HHN 20 in 2010, he was released by Fear as one of his minions as the embodiment of death. At the end of this year, he was taken back into Fear's Lantern, where he would remain locked away until HHN 25 in 2015, where Bloody Mary and Jack the Clown broke him out of the Lantern for a short period of time. And his last known whereabouts was our first year when we were there for when he was escaping or inside of Fear's Lantern at HHN 30 in 2021. So that whole thing was they were all trying to fight for dominance, these captured icons. And it was really unique. It was our first taste of these icons and kind of gave us a love for how rich the lore is. So I think it's really, really interesting. And I think it just leads into 40 with let's say, because we know he's in Fear's Lantern. Fear comes, his first appearance was in 20 on the 20-year mark. So that's a huge anniversary. We've got 35, again, great time to tease the big 40.
Yep.
So if there's somehow a bunch of the icons return, Fear's Lantern breaks, they break containment, or they're released upon the park as the instrument of fear, I think that really sets up 40, and this is such a cool way. And they've done that multiple times.
Yeah.
We've seen that with Oddfellow. It was a shorter payoff, but now we could slow burn it. And for the next 4 or 5 years, we get a couple of leaks of these IPs.
It's so cool to see how the creative teams with this whole event, have just created and keep building upon all this lore and looking back on how they've set things up and how far ahead they plan things. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I'm really, really interested.
Yeah.
And it looks like you had some quotes.
Yeah, so in the house that we saw, icons captured, in his little part in there, I guess he had a line, and he said, "I'm the caretaker," and then this is one of his catchphrases, I guess you want to say, his tagline, that connects it to this pocket watch symbol. Is he says, "Your time has come," which makes sense. He's he's connected to the Shady Oak Cemetery, which, like you said, I'm all in for a graveyard scare zone, because that was one of my favorite scare zones, was Graveyard Deadly Unrest in the Hollywood section. That was just our second year in 22.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I loved that scare zone with the
wings.
big, and they were they could articulate them, the gargoyles or whatever they were. The guardians of the cemetery or whatever.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought it was just so cool. And it's a graveyard. It's Halloween. Halloween. It just goes together, but it's with all the fog and stuff. It just fits, especially once the sun goes down. Those are just, it's just the best scare zone to me. So I'm super hyped for a graveyard scare zone. But I could see it. So, we already have 2 big I mean, and big personality icons.
Yeah.
As our headliners. And then, if we have the Pumpkin Lord over in San Francisco in the DJ area. And then if we have Caretaker, I mean, that's lots of icons. But I mean, that's like Pumpkin Lord's just kind of tucked in there. He's just doing his little thing over there. So I could see them doing Caretaker in this one but making it more about the cemetery and then almost having it like some of the scare zones in the Oddfellow year in 23, where he was in like every scare zone, but it was almost like he was a cameo or he was an Easter egg. Like you almost had to like find him, or you might not always see him.
Yeah, he might like roam in
You
and
had
out.
to like look closely, where like in Vamp 69, like he was like fully dressed as like a hippie, and then he was in the jungle scare zone. He wasn't like the main focal point, but he was there. So I could see it being similar, where they're not gonna pull the focus from our main icons, but he's there, and it's like kind of leads into that, like he's always been there. They're there waiting. And
if we see in the 35 years portion where like either of them has got a lantern, I think that leads perfectly into that transition.
Oh yeah.
Of like in the storyline, if Jack and Oddfellow are gathering power, they could theoretically attain the lantern, and then that would give our out for the Caretaker and all those that are trapped inside of it. So if you see somebody with a lantern, I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on. That would be awesome. I'm in.
Okay.
Anything else on our scare zones?
On scare zones and shows, that's all I've got.
Okay.
For now. So
I think we go to our last big point, which is the tribute store stuff.
Which I was getting really sad about the fate of the tribute store early on, because it was looking bleak. First off, I mean, it looked like it was going to be back in the arcade mummy gift shop area, which
never again
sucked so bad last year. It is just a terrible spot for it. It is not big enough. They can't do the set dressing and stuff like we've come to know and love of a tribute store.
Well, and the thing with the tribute store is it's designed for merch, and you have to figure out flow. Like there is an artistry to figuring like you have to understand people's mannerisms. You have to have flow. You have to have intrigue.
It's like how parking lots are built. I mean, they're engineered certain ways. Like
in that, like I felt like the creative team was gutted on this, or maybe not gutted, but like neutered a little bit with what they could do, limited in space. It's weird to put it there.
It's just not. It's not a good spot. But they closed down the like Rosie's Irish store, which connects to the arcade, and so we were like, oh shit, they've closed that because they're gonna like knock out walls and make it bigger to put the tribute store back there. I was like, shit. But then we got even worse news.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm fine with it in the arcade, because then it started coming out that there possibly might not be a tribute store at all.
What an absolute disaster that would be.
Like, that would be such a big fumble. Like, you want to get the freaking hardcore, die-hard, coming every year fans mad. Get rid of the thing they love. Right. That's great. That's super smart. So,
makes no sense.
But that's what I was kind of referencing earlier, is the big influencers and people said, they put that call to action out. They said, email Universal, tweet out and tag them, and just tell them how much you love the tribute store, how much it means that we want it. Like, it's not HHN without the tribute store.
It's not.
Like, they do a tribute store for every season. We have a summer tribute store right now. Like,
we have a Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, get rid of
store.
a summer tribute store. Keep the HHN tribute store. Like, please.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I was like, okay, that's fine. Put it in the arcade. At least we'll have something. So it was like, shit. Well, so the thing is, the best location is in New York, in the Macy's building, which is the Mummy Extended Queue. And so the reason they said it couldn't be there last year was because, first off, they need the extended queue for the summertime because that ride gets long lines, but also because of the construction or the demolition of Rip Ride Rocket, and the construction walls were like blocking where the exit would have been.
Yeah.
I still don't really buy that because they could have easily just like scooted over a little bit where the exit comes out.
If the Mummy is ever that busy, they've got the external.
Yeah,
like,
and I
put
mean,
them
I
outside,
understand.
bake them in the heat.
Listen, that is like, I mean, that is one of my all-time favorite rides. I have a tattoo for it. I mean, I love the Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
But I also always have Express Pass. So I'm not going to be the one baking out in the heat. So, I mean, I feel for the people, I guess. But they do. They have that extended queue that goes out in the little open area there, which would cut into the stilt walkers. I understand that too.
Look, the best part about walkers is they can walk the fuck over to another spot. They can pose outside.
Yeah.
Like, they don't.
Well, so, but I think this year, because we've gotten some Easter eggs in Boris Schuster's office.
This is the like glimmer of hope.
Yes. I think it all, I mean, they wouldn't have posted it if it wasn't true, because it's not like the Fuel Girls posting on Twitter, like trying to poke at HHN. Like this is in the park. It had to be approved. Somebody didn't just go pin it up like anonymously. It's there. And this is where we get our tribute store Easter eggs. I mean, that's just what Boris Schuster's office has been.
Yeah.
So we had a couple. We had like a clown or like a little popcorn bag looking thing that had been in there earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But this week we got, so there's like a ripped poster on the bulletin board, and it says New York City, 1208 Fifth Avenue, which is the address of the Macy's building. That is the address on the facade of the Macy's building where the HHN tribute store, that is just where, that's its home. That is where it's supposed to be. And then there was another right under it. There's a ticket, and the ticket says ticket not valid for midway games or rides. So that is like confirmation that is not going to be in the arcade. Thank God. And then they have the address for the New York location.
It's such a fun, just middle finger to.
Well,
I mean, everybody hated it,
and it's not. It's just. I feel like the creative team, somebody was just like, we have to have a tribute store. Where can we have it? Yeah. And so they fought for the fans. They fought for themselves. Again, like I said, I would rather have it in the arcade than not have one at all.
Yeah.
So if that's the only way we were able to get one last year, fine.
You get a pass.
Whatever.
Don't do it again.
But the fact that our voices were heard, that, you know, I like the idea, which it's not going to happen, possibly in the future, but like right when you walk in, there's the Wicked store is still there. I'd love that location as their tribute store, where it's like central.
There's got to be like 2 people a day that go through that.
I know now. Yeah. But apparently it's got a contract like through the end of the year, or maybe even through next year or something.
Makes me throw up.
And yeah, it needs to go away at this point. It's overstayed its welcome. But I thought that I hadn't thought about that. But I think that would be a great location for a tribute store in the future, because they could really make it, you know, themed to the event, and it's right there. And then when you're going to leave, you can hit it, grab all your stuff you want to buy, and leave. Yeah. You know, the other location in Hollywood where they'll do the summer tribute store, and the Mardi Gras tribute store sometimes is usually that Hollywood location. They said that's not an option, even though it would be available. Ooh, maybe not. Mm-hmm. It might still be summer tribute store, because sometimes, like when it was the Jurassic Park one, they kind of left it in until HHN.
That one was cool, but I'm biased.
Yeah. But I understand that, because the Hollywood Scare Zone, especially now that they do the Mel's Zombies on the rollerblades. Yeah. And that is still on Spec Map, thankfully. Love that. But it goes from the Hollywood Scare Zone, and now it just melts right into Mel's, which then melts right into Central Park. And so I think if you put the tribute store there, it just wouldn't work. But I don't think they wouldn't have enough time to switch it over from summer to HHN. So I understand that. But even if it wasn't a switchover, like time constraint thing, I don't think it's a good location for it. But right at the corner there, it's the end of that New York Scare Zone, that corner where you turn at Fallon's. You know, we're not going to have house entrances there again this year because of still the construction of Fast and Furious. The entrance for, whatever house is in the Fallon ride. Was there even one last year in the Fallon ride? I don't remember. Because we had to walk down the hallway of Fallon.
Yeah,
I don't remember if there was one there or not.
We've had to do that a couple of times though. That little bridge over.
But either way, it's a good area because it's just kind of there might be some straggler scare actors from that scare zone in that big open corner. Mm-hmm. But that's where the exit of the tribute store comes out. It's just a good spot, and it just felt dead in that corner there. And their whole thing with trying to create a seamless flow event, that felt like a break. It was a dead spot. And then just knowing that's where the tribute store is supposed to be.
It was a kick in the nuts.
Yeah, and it being further down, the facade they had for it was just hardly anything. It just wasn't. That's not my tribute store. So
understandable.
Hopefully this is confirmation. We're getting the tribute store back in New York. And I think some of this, because the whole holdup was saying, well, we need that extended queue for the Mummy in the summer. So I'm thinking that they've just accepted that they're going to use the outdoor extended queue.
Yep.
But also, I think, last year, Epic opened in May, later May. And so some people, it was busy, but they weren't going at full capacity at all. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't actually a whole bunch of people in the park at Epic. And then a lot of people probably, like us, wanted to wait until they kind of had a lot of the newness worked out before we went our first time, because we haven't even been yet. And we go to Universal every year. So I think this summer, I definitely see Epic being a lot busier than it was last summer.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll kind of help disperse the crowds a little better. And so maybe they won't need that indoor extended Mummy queue as much, or they just said, they put their foot down and said, listen, we've done it here every other year. Just gonna have to deal with it. This is where the tribute store is gonna be.
Yeah. I'm sorry you cannot ride the Mummy in a decent time, and you have to sit outside for a minute.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
But the air conditioner inside is very good.
Well, and they put up all those umbrellas too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not just in the sun. Yeah, it does kind of suck. It ruins that whole Mummy outdoor facade with the extended queue and the umbrellas and stuff. But I'll deal with that to have tribute store in New York.
Yeah, you can take your fun picture of the hieroglyph in the top left and fucking post it to your socials. And anyway,
so some Easter eggs in the Boris Schuster's office, and below Boris Schuster's office is Madame Basil's.
Oh yeah.
Which she's back in there, and there's a poster with her Madame Basil, fortune teller. And she has been known to travel with Oddfellow. So we got Oddfellow coming back. We're getting, Madame Basil's tied in there. So that was another little kind of Easter egg. On that ticket, it said it was a ticket to Sideshow Obscura. So I think that is probably what the theme of the tribute store, which goes along with Oddfellow, and if they're tying that, doing that Madame Basil tie, then I could see it being like sideshow, just circusy sideshow.
Yeah. Hi, Bailey. Welcome to the episode.
I wish they could see that, her pawing at you.
Come here. Just this once. You can be. Come on. All right.
So, but yeah, that's what I have on the tribute story. Did you have anything to add?
No. I'm like super excited for it. Bring it back. You know, it'll feel like home again.
Yeah. Well, because last year was an anniversary for the tribute store. It was the 10th anniversary of the tribute store. So it sucked that for that anniversary, it was like a crappy tribute store. But hopefully for this year being just an overall HHN anniversary, we're going to get a good tribute store again. So I'm looking forward to that.
Agreed. All right. Let's wrap it up.
Okay.
That's the latest news and speculation we have for you for HHN35. Let us know down below if you're just as excited as we are for the Sinner's House, and as well as what speculation you might have, what's in the future, what you think. We could be completely wrong.
Yep.
If you've got other things, put it down below.
Yep. Like, subscribe, and share for more horrifying content. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay spooky.